Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. You are safe. Please do not come out. Okay. In our last class, we have completed up to our how to make an equation more informative, which was quite easy, and you have learned so well. I hope you have practiced it at your house as well. And today we will discuss about interpreting a balanced chemical equation and STP related problems. Till now we are in balancing equations, so it is a small chapter but it is having a big contribution in chemistry, so please focus upon it. Now the topic which I am going to say, it will be using a lot of talent of your 9th class as well as 10th class. So I hope you all remember your 9th class lessons, especially regarding mole concept. Okay, here those things will be used so far. Interpreting a chemical equation, page number 28, as you can see. Let me write here. Interpreting a balanced chemical equation. So let us interpret it. A chemical equation gives information about the reactants and product through their symbol and formula. What is it? I am saying, students, that through the symbol and formula they give idea about reactant and product. A chemical equation gives us an idea about reactants used and product formed in a chemical reaction by symbol and formula. First point, which we after interpretation we got, it gives the ratio of molecules of reactants and products. It is giving us ratio of molecules of reactants of between ratio of molecules between reactants and products is given by a particular data, okay, by a chemical equation as well. Third point, a molecular masses, as molecular masses are expressed in unified mass, the relative masses of reactants and products are known from the equation. Whenever I am writing equation, third one is quite bigger, which you can see. I won't write, but I'll explain you. What is saying, as molecular masses are expressed in unified masses, the relative masses of reactants and products are known from the equation. Suppose let me write the equation, that is I'll make it more informative. HCl is what aqueous, sodium hydroxide is also aqueous, NaCl is what aqueous, and milk, it is liquid. Water is itself liquid. These are four things I mentioned. Okay, here a little bit of heat is what evolved. It comes out. So I'll write here delta symbol. Give a delta symbol over there. So here student HCl and NaCl when NaOH when combined we got NaCl and H2O. Here what is saying, as molecular masses are already expressed. Yes, here molecular mass is already expressed. There is one hydrogen as well as chlorine. Hydrogen is what? Mass of the hydrogen is 1, whereas chlorine is what? 35.5. So we got 36.5. Okay, and sodium hydroxide is the same. Sodium stands for 23, oxygen stands for 16, and hydrogen for 1. So we can calculate atomic mass and molecular mass. Sorry, this is a molecule, so we can calculate molecular mass as well. So as they have given, we can found their relative, like products also. In products also we can find their what? Relative masses. Very easily. Just we need to remember our mass table, which you have completed in your 9th class. Okay. If the masses are expressed in grams, then equation also gives the molar ratio of reactants and products. Suppose he saying that 1 gram. When he is saying this is also 1 gram. When again here 1 gram, it should come 1. If the reactions are giving their like examples in grams, then we can get an idea about their molar masses, the mole concept. This one will be cleared in upcoming examples which I am going to give you all. Okay. And 5th point, if gases are involved, we can equate their masses to their volumes and calculate the volumes of the gases liberated at given condition of the temperature pressure using molar mass and molar volume relationship. By using molar mass and molar volume relationship, we can calculate how much amount of gas has been evolved from a particular reaction. Because see, at some point gases are evolved, and as we all know, a equation must be what? The reactant side is equal to product side. According to law of conservation of mass, they both should be equal. But if gases are going out, how will you measure? You can measure by using this volume mass relationship. Okay. Using molar mass and Avogadro's number, we can calculate the number of molecules and atoms of different substances from the equation. By using Avogadro's number is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. By using this Avogadro's number and mole concept, students, we can calculate the number of molecules, number of atoms, mass and volume given in a particular equation in easy manner. How? Let us solve a particular equation, one problem, then you can get it. How can we solve these all things? A question gave that calculate the amount of aluminum required to get 1120 kg, 1120 kg of iron by the above reaction. So he is giving a reaction to watch, that is aluminum plus Fe2O3 gives us aluminum oxide plus Fe. He is saying that you are asked to calculate the amount of aluminum required to get 1120 kg of iron from the above reaction. This is what equation given, and is asking how can we get 1120 kg of iron out of this particular reaction. If you want 1120 kg of iron, how much amount of aluminum and ferric oxide should be reacting with each other? To solve this kind of problem, students, first thing is to balance the chemical equation. How can we balance? You can see aluminum, there are 2, here 2 ferrous, there are only 1, here O3 is common. So first we will try to solve the complex one. Here this one is the first step which comes. So I will multiply 2 here. So what I am getting? 2 aluminum I got. It is very easy. Now you can see this step Fe2O3. Here only 2 Fs are there. So I will multiply 2 over there. So this balance, the reaction is balanced. Reaction is balanced or not? Very easy, right? Now what we need to see? We need to see what is the molecular masses of the particular compounds. What is the mass of aluminum, students? Do you have any idea? What is the mass of aluminum? 27. What? 27. Then how much amount it is multiplied? 2 it is multiplied. That's what I am saying. Here you are getting proper and the best amount, like the right amount of molecular mass. Okay, 2 into 27. Here Fe2O3. 2 iron plus 3 oxygens are combined making Fe2O3. So what will be the mass? Their combined mass? 2 into 56 plus 3 into 16. 2 into 56 plus 3 into 16. What? U. U means unified mass. Then Al2O3. What is Al2O3? Al2 means 27. So 2 into 27 plus O3, 3 into 16 U. And at last ferrous. Ferrous is the mass of ferrous is how much? 56. So 2 into 56U. 2 into 56U. So now this one how much? 2 into 27U means how much? This is your 54 gram. Sorry, 54U. This is how much, friends? 2 into 56 plus 3 into 16. It is around 160U. Here 2 into 27 plus 3 into 16. You are getting around 102. And there 2 into 56 U means your 112 U. Okay. They all are united mass. They all are unified mass. Its molecular mass is 54. Its molecular mass is what? 160. Sorry. 160. There it is 102. There it is 112. Okay. You got everybody's mass. Now it's saying how much amount of aluminium required. How much amount of aluminium required to get ferrous, to get iron or ferrous. We don't have to deal with these two. We need to deal with those two. How much amount of aluminum required to get 1120 kg? Right? 1120. What is saying? 1120 kg? No? Yes, 1120 kg. Okay. When 54U is involved, you are getting 112U. When 54 is involved, you are getting 112U. Let us replace U with G. Let us replace U with G. Now you might have an idea, like doubt that why U is replaced with G, why G is replaced with, like how it is used. Student, this is an idea called gram atomic mass. Okay. Always remember, gram atomic mass or gram molecular mass gives us an idea about how many molecules or compounds, how many molecules or atoms are involved in this particular reaction. So here instead of 54U, if I am writing 54 gram, then I am getting 54 54 gram means I am getting 1 mole of aluminum. Here 100 U, instead of I am writing 112 gram, I am getting 1 mole of iron molecule, not an atom. 1 mole of hydrogen, iron molecule. What is this mole concept? I will discuss, like I will tell you in the next class. But let me complete the process first. Here 54 gram involved, then you are getting 112 gram. But how much is your need? Your need is 1120 kg. So to get 1120 kg, you need to write some equation over there. Very simple mathematical things. 54 gram gives us 112 gram. Gives us 112 gram. Then 1 gram will give us 1 gram will give us how much? 112 by 54. But how much we need? We need 1120 kg. To get 1120 kg, what we will do? We need to convert 1120 like kg into grams. So that will be 1120 sorry. I'll erase the topmost part. I hope then you can write. You can see clearly. Students, here we are discussing about aluminium and iron. Here 54 grams of aluminium will give you 112 gram of iron. How much you need? 1120 into 1000. This much gram you need. Okay. If 54 grams give you 112 gram. Okay. Then x gram will give you. How much? 1120 multiplied by 1000, again multiplied by 54, all divided by 112. You have done these kind of experiments in your this kind of mathematical problems in your childhood, in your 8th class, 9th class. If this guy is having this much, then one guy will get how much, then 54 guys will get how much, this kind of problems. So see over here, I have written the direct step. Now you can what, you can just cancel here, you can what you have to cancel, here 112, here 112 you will cancel. So how much you got? You got 10,000, right? 10 multiplied by 1000, that is 10,000 into 54, that is 5,40,000 grams. You got 5,40,000 grams or 540 kg. So we need 540 kg of aluminium so as we can get 1120 kg of iron. This is the end of our problem. In our next class we will discuss nicely about mole concept. I know you all have forgot about mole concept, so I'll teach you mole concept and the relation between mole, volume and all. Okay? Until then, bye.